What's up everybody? Welcome to the Phase Reviews YouTube channel. My name is Jordan and today on the review table I have another DJ product, this time a fog machine from American DJ. If you are new here, welcome to the channel, and if you are a subscriber, welcome back. This fog machine is one of the more affordable options from American DJ that still has pretty decent output and has a couple really cool things that they include in the box with the fog machine. And today we're gonna take it out, we're gonna show you everything that comes in the package. I will give a demo of how it works and talk about my experience with it, and then let you know if I think it's worth picking one up for yourself. As always, if you're not a subscriber, I would love to earn your subscription hopefully by the end of this video, but I'm not gonna waste time talking about that. Let's dive into talking about this ADJ VF1100. So American DJ makes all sorts of good DJ lighting products. They also make atmospheric products like fog and haze, and I've owned their Fog Fury phase machine in the past. It was a great unit. I used it all the time. It put out a really nice fine mist. Now this is a more traditional fogger, and a fog machine as opposed to a haze machine puts out bigger, puffier clouds. The atmosphere is a little denser, it's a little more directional. It's not like a haze machine where it's kind of fine and thin and just dissipates through the whole venue. This has a much more noticeable atmospheric effect, and this is kind of the classic effect. These are usually a little more affordable than a haze machine, and this VF1100 sits more towards the affordable end of ADJ's fogger line. I believe they have a VF400 that is the lowest end, and then this is the next step up. So the VF400, that's going to be something you're going to get at like a Walmart or like a, you know, your Halloween store. The 400 watt foggers are just kind of the base model that people pick up for the holidays. This is where you're starting to step into a more high output fogger that can be used in a professional situation as a, you know, a mobile DJ, someone that's doing school dances, college dances. This is going to give you a bump and boost. So the VF1100, I'm going to read you a few specs here before we dive into opening it up. This is an 850 watt fog machine, so double the power of the smaller 400 watt units. This has electric thermo sensing for optimum heating levels. It also has a low fog fluid shutoff to protect the pump. It won't pump fluid if there's not any there to pump, so that helps your fogger last longer and not malfunction and break. The warm-up time on this guy is stated as 2 minutes, and it outputs 10,000 cubic feet of fog per minute. But enough about specs, let's open this up and see what comes in the box. Now, when I do an unboxing, usually I put everything back as it comes in the mail and pull it all out so you can see exactly how it's packaged. I couldn't do that with this because when I tested it, it's just too hard to put a fogger back in the packaging once you fill it with fluid. So I've got the fog machine itself right here, and we'll take a closer look at it. I'll show you everything else that comes in the box though. So on the back of the fogger, I have it still plugged in, but you do get an IEC power cord. I would say this is, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 feet long, so not exceptionally long, but usually a fog machine stays pretty close to your DJ booth or to the wall. It's not, you know, doesn't need to be ran a long distance, but you can always get an extension cord if you need it. I'm going to set this on the ground for a moment. Inside of the box, along with the fog machine and the power cord, you're also going to get a wired remote. Now, keep in mind that this remote is not a timer. This is just a simple remote with an on and off switch. I'll pull that out for you right here. As long as you hold the button, the fog is going to come out. So they include a basic remote there. If you want to buy a timer, I believe American DJ sells a timer option as well that you can purchase separately. They also include a bracket. So if you want to mount the fog machine, hang it from some trussing, you can hook this bracket onto the fog machine and do so. There are some, let me find them, some knobs here with some screws to hook the bracket to the fog machine. Then you're going to get obviously your user manual and your warranty information in here, and it comes well packaged in some foam. So I like, you know, American DJ always packages their products really well. Now there's one other thing that comes in the package. Here it is, and it is a wireless remote. This is an RF remote, meaning you don't need line of sight to the fog machine. It doesn't have to be pointing at it like a TV remote. It has a small little antenna that extends out here, and it's got 4 buttons. I don't know why there's 4, because the only one that you're going to use is the number 1. If you push the number 1, that little light will light up and it will trigger the fog machine. So I think this is way more convenient than the wired option. I haven't had any issues with signal. You know, if you're 10, 15 feet from your fog machine at your DJ booth, this is going to pick it up, no sweat, and you'll be able to trigger your fog machine without having to either run a wired cable or walk over and push the manual button on the back of the fog machine. So that's what comes in the box. Let's take a look at the machine itself. This is built bigger than the 400 unit, but not by much. The footprint is actually maybe even the same. I know it has more power, but I don't think it's taking up more physical space. So this is a nice portable option, a nice compact option if size is really important to you. You can see you've got your fill-up cap here on the top. It's got a 1-liter tank in there, which should give you plenty of fog output for, you know, your average house party, smaller events. You shouldn't run out during your event. You can probably go a couple of events with the fog juice, depending on how much you're running it, obviously. If you're in a huge room, you're gonna burn through your fog fluid a little bit more. It's got a nice metal construction. You've got some vent holes on the front here to keep it cool, your nozzle right up front, and then on the back, you have a little see-through window to the tank that's actually illuminated when the fog machine is on, so you can see your fluid level. There's a light with ready on it that will tell you when it's heated, and there's also a light that tells you that it is currently heating. There's your input for your remote, and then there's a button right here to trigger the fog manually. So if you want to just walk over and push it yourself without using any remote, you can put yourself through that, although I'm not sure why you would. Now I could do a full guide on how to use a fog machine, but they're very intuitive. Open the cap up, pour in fog fluid. You can use ADJ's one that they sell or buy some separate fog fluid, whatever is up to you. But once you fill it up, plug it in, it will start heating. About 2 minutes later, the ready light will come on and you can start using the fog machine. Now, after you've blown off fog for a set amount of time and the heater has burned through all of its heat, it's gonna stop pumping automatically and the heater is gonna recharge, it's gonna get hot again, and then you can start pumping out fluid again. It doesn't take long to do that. So if you wanna just keep pumping and pumping the fog, you can definitely do that pretty regularly. So now I'll overlay some footage of me in the garage using this. You'll see the thick billowing clouds that come out of this. It puts out a ton of juice for being only their second smallest fog machine. 10,000 cubic feet per minute, which in my eyes is a ton. Having a fog machine makes a huge difference with your light shows. You're gonna be able to see those beams from your lasers, from your moonflowers, your moving heads. And so if you are at a venue or an event where you're able to use atmosphere, I would highly, highly recommend it. So that's just a quick look at the VF1100 from ADJ. I think it's a great little fogger. This is super compact and portable. It's affordable for maybe new DJs or someone who doesn't do a lot of events with fog or atmosphere and you don't want to drop big money on an industrial hazer or even, you know, a mid-sized hazer. They can get expensive really quick, and if it's just not something you do often, which for most DJs it isn't, this is a more accessible solution. I love that they include the wireless remote. It makes life so much easier over using the wired remote, and I can wholeheartedly recommend this. No issues with it at all, and like everything else ADJ that I own, you know, I'm just really happy with it. So if you want to grab one of these, there'll be a link down in the description. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you become one. I do reviews of not only DJ products, but anything tech, Bluetooth speakers, earbuds, camera gear, anything that catches my eye, I review it on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.